Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Unfairly back here with some more Marathon PvP content. Today, we're going to be getting into the usual combat insights, a little bit of perimeter ranked, and a few solo matches. We'll get you some usual tips, tricks, and kind of ways to evaluate and get out or triumph the situation that you're currently in. We're going to get right into it here, of course. First off, the Marathon Masterclass Discord is pushing 600 members. The link to join is going to be in the bio in the description. We're always in there giving good tips, chatting, sharing progress, and basically just helping each other to be better runners. And also, if you want to connect with me on Twitter, I am unfairly with 2 Ys. I'm always on there having a great time, seeing what the greater community is discussing, and always memeing. So let's get into it here, guys. Right now, we are on perimeter ranked. You can see that we are very late in the game. You can see that we had a couple of us went down and we're missing holo tags. So we're looking to chase down this team and get it back before they are able to exfil. So it's kind of a scrappy fight. Kind of just looking for a pick, looking for a long range snipe. One of our teammates is moving in, and I'm looking to kind of move up, match his kind of flow, just to be in a good position to be able to support him if stuff goes wrong. Of course, we're going to signal jam to get in there just in case they are scanning. But look at what we're doing. We're using the distraction of our teammate, and we're going above them, very close to them, way closer than they would ever expect anyone currently is near to them. I'm going to evaluate the situation, then realize that all three are looking at me. I'm going to soft reset. I'm not going to take that fight in there as a solo 1v3. And of course, as we're running away, we are still constantly looking back to bait their aggression. And you can see we get some damage there as well. Our teammate goes in. We're kind of aggressing to try to help him, but what do we recognize? Both teammates are down. I'm not going to win a 1v3. So we throw the smoke to kind of create this misdirection and this question in their head of, am I pushing in? Am I still down there? But no, I'm going back to the same place, the same advantageous place where I have the height, playing immaculate cover and head peaks.
This is that team from earlier.
Yep.
We're going to play it safe knowing that we have a couple down. We're going to run away, hit the heal. We're going to get this nasty head peek up here.
It's cracked. Get his ass.
But again, we triumph and we take down all three. However, of course, all three of them were rezzing. So those things aren't going to work out for you always, but that was a really good kind of effort and try. And I guess, you know, you can kind of take a few of those things, put them into your own gameplay, whatever that situation arises for you. Here we are off the rip in perimeter ranked. We hear some shots. We are skirting around the backside of the north of the map, just checking out all the spawn points as we rotate. And then we hear some combat. They're either fighting another team or they are doing this kind of mini event here with the AI. You can see that we are very patient on going into the fight. We get our tags and our kind of confirmation that we are statistically going to win this fight, and we get a couple snipes, take them down, and it opens it up for our teammate to finish off the last one. And we're going to go ahead and get an easy loot threshold really before we even had the exfil spawn. Here we're in solos. We're just kind of ratting around. I'm using a key template to kind of try to bait the algorithm to pair me with other people with keys so I can kind of loot their vaults. We're going to get surprised here. Instead of re-peeking with no cover, I'm going to elect to kind of run away. And look at this. So here's my thinking in this point, and I actually was streaming and I calmed this kind of entire process. So instead of standing there, I know he was being very aggressive. He has a weapon that's maybe an LMG, something that's doing really big damage. And so instead of when I got surprised, just standing there in the open, figuring out where the target is, moving my aimer on him, and then re-engaging, meanwhile, the whole time I'm taking damage, already at about half health, I'm going to say instead I'm going to make one of the big three decisions in the moment. I'm not going to heal or ability. I'm going to evade. I'm running. I know that, you know, I have a little bit of distance between me and him, so he's not shooting me in the back the whole time. And the entire time that I'm sprinting, I'm thinking, what am I doing? Am I going to get to cover, heal, or am I going to just sidestep and then turn back on him, surprise him with aggression? But no, I see that the window's open and I jump out, and knowing that I'm going to be the person who hits the ground first and has my aimer, he's going to jump out of here. And I'm essentially, again, baiting his over aggression. He's going to jump out of here firing full kind of RPM, and as you're falling, in most games, when you're falling, your bloom or the bullet spread of your hip fire is not going to be accurate. It's actually going to be at the max inaccuracy. So knowing that I have the kind of solid ground, I'm standing here, my aimer is ready, placed exactly where his body box is going to come. He's going to jump out and he's going to engage me, knowing where I am. He's going to be shooting off the rip, but all of his shots are going to be far more inaccurate than mine are. And so this is a classic case of a soft reset into baiting of over aggression, because he should have won this fight, but I made the extra effort again to disengage, put myself in a position where I know that I don't have just a 50-50 chance of winning the fight. I have a 70-30. I have a 60-40 chance here. So you can see he knows exactly where I am, but because we are planted with the crosshair ready to come out on where he is, his over-aggression kind of just makes him throw caution to the wind here. This clip we're going to skip around a little bit because it is long. I just wanted to provide the context. We're kind of looking at a team in data wall. We have them kind of trapped. We're looking at each other with sniper scopes. We hear an exfil at North Relay, and so we think, hey, let's run towards North Relay. But then I cleverly come out that, hey, if they see us going towards North Relay, the data wall team is going to collapse us. So what do? This is a perfect example of the soft reset. So we are going to actually disengage here. And again, the ice cream sandwich, we are not being a cookie. We're trying to be a cookie. We are no longer the ice cream. We were in the middle. The one cookie was at North Relay. The one cookie is in data wall. We were the ice cream. And so knowing that we're in that kind of perilous, low statistical advantage kind of place, we're going to elect to go ahead and disengage. We are no longer in the middle. And also, we're going to take it a step further, and instead of kind of re-engaging the fight traditionally, we are going to rotate around one of the former cookies, and we're going to make the team in data wall the ice cream. We're going to be a cookie on the south side of data wall. They're going to be the ice cream in the data wall, and then the north team is going to be the other cookie. And so we're going to go through hauler, and of course we're getting quieter. We're slowing down the pace. We're matching the pace of the game. We know that they're in the data wall. We can hear their footsteps and they can hear ours if we were sprinting and we were being over aggressive. When you're committing to a play of this kind of complexity, or when it has this kind of time commitment, you don't want to mess it up all the way at the end by just being almost right here to where we're about to surprise them, and then you sprint and make a sound. It just doesn't make sense. You wasted all that kind of time. And so we have a scan. We see that there is still one up there. It doesn't seem like he's moving or realizes that he's being tagged. And so we're going to continue this crouched, very clustered approach for maximum damage if someone pops out on us. I'm going to have him go right and check the person who we pinged. I know we got a ping there, so I'm going to try to look around and see where they are. We're going to get a little bit of text, but we have the battle pistol, so I'm going to elect to close that distance, and I'm going to move towards him. Right there, that little side look, I hear the last person of this trio in the data wall behind us. And so I tell my teammates, finish the first person we got up on the railing. I'm chasing this person down, and then they are aware that someone's coming behind them immediately, and they instantly have the 2v1 advantage, and they have their guns trained on him because I gave that comm. And so kind of having that multitasking, even though I was kind of on a hell-bent sprint towards that one damaged person, I still am listening and I'm aware and looking at my surroundings and giving my teammates information that they can work with and help us to continue the fight and win the fight. Even though we're advantaged in that fight, it doesn't mean that you will always win it. It genuinely does not. And so again, we are here in a very early ranked perimeter game. We've come from South Relay. We are going towards Overflow. We noticed that there was a fight going on. We have kind of this cluster of players down here at Overflow, and then we have another cluster up at general top mid, where they are also sniping and looking over us. So we're taking very, very appropriate care in terms of keeping our cover, because we know the snipers are overwatching this entire kind of brouhaha, and we really just don't know where anyone is. They could be very split. We don't know if there's people in the POI still. So there could even be potentially 3 teams being this early in the game and this kind of area where there's a flurry of spawn points. And so the sniper, we get good comms that the snipers are no longer looking. We confirm that with our visuals. Our teammate is looking to go in. But again, we're playing it so safe. Look at this cover. Look at the hesitation. Instantly going back to cover, looking around, seeing what updated since I just got this kill. We are building the solutions one step at a time. And then essentially you get one step, you get a kill, you look around, reevaluate, and you go to the next step. You can also see there that I learned that the spider drone can actually body block you. I was trying to run right into this bubble shield to avoid its blast, and then it literally just hard body checked me and kept me out.
Still on those rocks.
And so again, you see that I see someone, I'm not overcommitting. We don't know what the situation is. I'm staying clustered with my teammates. We have 3 people's worth of firepower that can be directed in any direction at any single point. You don't want to be very split up from your teammates, especially when you don't know what the situation is or what the team composition of your enemies are. You could very well be a solo kind of looking for the last person, and then meanwhile you don't realize that they've rezzed and you find a group of 3 people in a room by yourself. And instantly, if you go down, you're putting your teammates at the disadvantage. You're statistically not going to have your team win any fight where you go down first. Again, so it's very important to kind of hold that safety blanket when you don't know what the situation is or the general kind of terms of what's happening. Just stick with your teammates. More guns, even if you guys are surprised, instead of being surprised and having 1 gun turns towards the enemy, you're going to be surprised and have 3 of them turn towards it, and you'll have a way better chance. So again, that goes to show that one of the snipers was still up and alive over here, and our teammate was running alone, and he got downed. So I tell my other teammate to put suppressing fire, knowing that I'm invisible and closer, I'm going to flank from the other side. Obviously, he's running away from where those shots are coming from my teammate, and so I know where prospectively he is going to be running to get away from those shots, and I'm going to meet him there every single time. Another kind of soft flank or counter rotate, whatever you want to call it, whatever terms that I've used. This is also just kind of a lesser clip just to show you, like, when you're solo and you hear an exfil, you know someone's trying to get out with loot. People don't really like exfil unless they have a lot of crap. And you can see we have that gold cryo key in our inventory baiting the keys. Obviously, this guy had a key and he opened up a key room too. You can see we get the gold bully and we get a assortment of other great stuff. And so if there was one thing for that little clip, it's just, you know, if you have like a cryo key or a key template or just a really crappy key that you don't care about, take that into your runs with a good loadout, maybe solos, and just you'll be amazed at how many other people the kind of matchmaking puts you with that also have keys. And so if you go in kind of with no intention to do that crappy key, or if it's a cryo key, any sort of key or key template, no matter if it's cryo or regular, will trigger kind of this algorithm. And so you're going to be able to get into these games more consistently with other people who have stuff worth eliminating them for. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Well, actually for today, the week is very young, but we'll probably have another video out, more streams to come on YouTube. And again, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Happy 4th.